Oh, guess I did track the room. Okay. I'm at 9:18. Matter of fact, let me reset this while we do this. So I wanted to bring up just something that just struck me as a thought process to give people some form of a, gosh, I don't see how this doing this and I'm not even able. Some people want to try to understand me. So while I'm putting these together, so this is pretty much, some people know who does scripture, right? They say that even Satan came as an angel of light, right? A lot of people say that the devil was cast out, right? Now, these people who call themselves Satanists are saying that they worship Satan with a human heart. Here's the funny part. That they can't even worship God with their hearts. Being the heart that is a wicked above all things, in a sense, right? Who can know a heart? Who can know a heart other than God, right? What makes them think that these human beings saying that they worship the devil could actually worship the devil with their hearts? Ooh, that'll belong them. So, the simple fact that what if Satan chose to come to earth to test hearts, to be the adversary to the human hearts, to help us know what actual faith and love is? Well, what do you mean? And this is what got me. So check this out. This is in Job 2. But as I'm going to go just with the first verse. And I mean, this is what struck me in thought process. It said, again, there was a day when the sons of God came to present themselves before the Lord, and Satan came also among them to present himself before the Lord. Well, I don't get it. Well, the first word, again, there was a day. So if again there was a day, that means there had to be a day before again. So now check this out. This is in 1 Kings 22:22. And the Lord said unto him, wherewith? And he said, I will go forth, and I will be a lying spirit in the mouth of all his prophets. And he said, thou shall persuade him and prevail also. Go forth and do so. So I don't care what these people, deities, they're saying there are. I'm not here saying, I don't bash the deities or the gods or the spirits. I'm saying the foolishness of the human mind and the human heart to the capacity that they think that it's okay to mess with children. And you telling me that even with the test of Job, Satan still got to listen to God. Why? Because it's still his creator. You telling me that people are going to blame Satan, the devil, or any other entity that those entities told them to sacrifice and beat and mess with children? The human heart and the human greed is the ones casting their own children into the fire, meaning they're attacking other people's children, but also they're teaching their children to do this shit. Because if again there came a day when the sons of God came to present themselves before the Lord and Satan came too, well, I thought y'all said he was cast out. What he doing there then? And the Lord said unto Satan, from whence comest thou? And Satan answered the Lord and said, from going to and fro in the earth, and from walking up and down in it. So why here in 1 Kings 22, I will go forth and be a lying spirit in the mouth. Well, who's telling me? Because the Lord said unto him who? Satan. So y'all gonna sit here and be so and be so foolish by thinking God doesn't exist, and this saying you're worshiping the devil. What makes you think that that's worshiping? What makes you think that on the day of judgment, the devil's going to sit there and is going to do what? The devil, Satan, whatever the original name of he is going to testify against you in the actual courts of courts. When the real scales are being balanced, the real scales, he going to be right there. Yeah, they did this. Yeah, they did that. Yeah, they did this. Yeah, they did that. And look at this. While blaspheming against you, and then they saying that they were worshiping me, they did none of the above. Even their own wicked hearts couldn't do that. How? So what's up? What's the deal with all of these people trying to blame Satan and the devil for messing with kids, sacrificing children, knowing still that Satan, the devil, still listens to God, even until today. So what are they doing all of these sacrifices and weird freaking flip-flop dances? You're telling me no, it's the lust of the man's heart that is convincing them that this shit's okay. And as a chaser, they're going to try to blame it on the devil. So they're going to reject God and then blame the devil and think everything is going to be okay with these people. Because that's what they're doing. And I'm sitting here just, sitting here thinking about it, because he was sent. And instead of saying he was cast out, I need you to go do this. What? Be a lying spirit. Because who was he talking to here? Because it says, and the Lord said unto him, wherewith? And he said, I will go. You mean you're going to sign up for this assignment? You're volunteering to go and change I'll go. I'm just saying, to see it in a different perspective. Because even here, again, there came a day, well, what's the report? How are the numbers looking? What's really going on? Tell me what's up. What's the word? And again, there came a day when the sons of God presented themselves and Satan. Like, man can flip the letters around all they wanted to, but they can't remove everything. Why? Because the Spirit of God wasn't going to allow them to keep sitting here and molesting the scriptures. The only way you could understand the scriptures is if you have the Spirit of God. But I'm just asking because, look, I'm sitting here directing my thought process to something else. And when I saw this, how many minutes we got? We're at, dang, already 8 minutes? This one, it didn't feel like 8 minutes. When I saw this, it got me. If they alone let me get it back. You gonna mess with the thing? Because it wasn't that far back. Maybe it was because I posted enough. There we go. Good. At least they didn't do that. Now check this out and just listen.
These individuals that the Democrats seem to want to defund, but because of President Trump, we finally funded them for 3 years. We're able to push and go find these kids. We found 146,000 kids so far. 146,000 kids. We still have nearly 300,000 missing. We're investigating reports to where Some of these kids claim that they were raped 600 to 700 times. I don't care who you are. I don't care if you have kids, if you don't have kids. I don't care if you're liberal, you're independent, you're a Democrat, you're a Republican. If you can't stand for law enforcement to go find these kids, who are you? These individuals.
So then again, as I heard that, it brought me into this. Because again, it irritates me, through my personal opinion, is that when are we going to gather, like y'all gather for your Macy's Day Parade, like y'all gather for New Year's, as y'all gather for every fucking Super Bowl or whatever fucking sporting event has a championship, and you gather for everything, you gather for your LGB freaking parades, you gather for any other freaking parade. When are we, as a human race, going to gather and do this? Draw 4. There's 4. When are we going to do that? And I guarantee you it should be more than a day's worth. It's time to change your perspective. So what I mean, also, like I said, so you're telling me right here in 1 Kings 22:22, who is God talking to, saying, will you go be a lying spirit? Who? 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 There is no way anybody's going to get away with, should be calling themselves a Satanist. That's an insult. It's a euphemism of an excuse. No, it's your human heart, your greed, your lust, your ignorance. It's not the devil. It's your human heart. And now it's time that your own hearts are going to convict you. They're going to backfire on you. I'm not talking about, well, in a sense, it's heart attack, but not as heart having a heart attack. It's a heart attack that your own heart is going to start convicting each and every person. Why? To have a change of perspective. Because dude just said 146,000. Then he said there's still 300,000 more. And I'm telling you, I know that number at least has to be 3 times as much. So we're talking about 3 million children on this planet is having this shit done to them. And you're telling me people are more caring about their sports and their parades and their holidays? With 3 million children going through this, your holidays and sports and bullshit like that is more important? So then again, it brought me back up to this. Because God sent somebody to freaking, what? Probably to test the hearts. These trials and tribulations are to test your heart genuine, your faith genuine. Well, it has to do with your heart. So then what is this? I don't know. What is it? Is either freaking one or the other. I always get it twisted. So, okay, Jeremiah 17:9. The heart is deceitful above all things and desperately wicked. Who can know it? Not even the devil knows the heart. That's what that shit is saying. Even Jesus said there's things I don't know, only the Father knows. I don't even know these things. So nobody could understand. So you telling me God molded every individual heart, hand built each person's heart, and nobody else knows his creation more than him, let alone no one else or anything else that is or will be will know it other than him. So when is it time to make a change? Because you telling me 3 million children, and the numbers are probably higher than that, bro. If that's just 400, half a million, let's just round it up because we know it's more than 500,000. That's just in the U.S. I'm telling you, in every other country, there has to be just as equal. The numbers are going to have to be just as much. Why? Because who was God talking to saying, I will be a lion spirit in the mouth of all his prophets? Whose prophets? Whatever the freaking desperately wicked part of the person's heart. Whoever it is corrupting the hearts. Because you can't have one without the other. Even when Jesus was talking about the boy who slept with his father's wife, he said, hand him over to the tormentor. Who? Give him over to Satan. Why? For rehabilitation. So if we put it that way, if he's saying give him over to the tormentor, what the tormentor would be considered Satan, i.e. and or the devil, however his name is these days, it's his job to do what? Corrective rehabilitation of what? The heart that is deceitful above all things and desperately wicked. Who can know it? If everyone has a job, this must have been his job because who signed up to be a lying spirit? Who? And then if allegedly Satan is supposed to be cast out, why does this say again? There was a day when the sons of God gathered and Satan also came. If again is the first word, that means there was a day before then too. And guess what? Satan would have been there too. And whatever other deities, well, because it says the what? The sons of God. So who are the sons of God? Because if you already got Satan, you already got Jesus, you already got God, who else is left? Whatever other deities or whatever there is created that people believing that they're worshiping more than the one who created them. So the manifestations of the person's psyche, guess what? Because our hearts and our brains does what? It helps to manifest things that are happening. Well, what do you mean? Well, okay. When Moses went up to do the chiseling of the commandments, right? And Aaron was being surrounded by people because they were being impatient, right? And what happened? They took off all their gold and what? Made an image of a golden calf. Through their what? Desperately deceitful, wicked hearts, because it was nobody could know it, to do what? To sit there and press on somebody else to get them to sit there, grab all the gold and make a golden calf. And they all knew Moses was up top. They all knew it. So what is up with these people here in like 2026 with all these kids going disappearing, talking about they say they can't even be Satanists? Because even Satan doesn't mess with children. Humans mess with children. Humans sacrifice children. Humans mess with little kids. There is nothing that has the superior consciousness to know that if they disobey God with one thing, it would be an instant kapow. Instant kapow. Like the man who was gonna touch the covenant of the ark of God. Remember, they were carrying it somewhere. One dude thought it was about to fall. He reached out and bam, the dude died right then and there. If it was supposed to be, people would be pow, pow, pow everywhere, pow, pow, pow everywhere. And some of these people that are in these so-called groups and cults, most of them, it was handed down to their families. This is why, mostly to you guys, the generation who was raised in shit like this, because guess what? I'm one of them. It is time to break the cycle of this shit. And look, I'm going to say it for real. Fuck your parents and fuck your grandparents and anybody else who thought it was okay to do this shit to other people. Because they did it to you, which means somebody did it to them, and they're doing it to other people. You're keeping the cycle going. It is time that the cycle of doing this shit to children needs to fucking end. You telling me there's 3 million freaking children and just in this country, and that's not even an exact number. I know there's more. And that's just this country. But you guys want to celebrate football, celebrate soccer, celebrate your parades, celebrate your bluegrass, celebrate all of this other stuff, while all of these children are going off and going through this. And you're not going to keep blaming that shit on the damn devil. There's something wrong with the hearts of the people. Because we have the ability to say no, and they're saying yes. Think about it.